If you need something to fill the void in between episodes of Stranger Things for the end of the year, I have your next game. Kingdom of Night is a new action RPG with a horror focus set in small town Arizona in the 1980s. Love the pixel style for this game, particularly with the retro vibes. It's a great look. The town of Miami, Arizona is ruled over by this creepy neighborhood watch that all the adults are in on. And I love that it's called Friends of Safety because it's also the developers' names. They just put themselves in this as the villain, which I think is fantastic. And the Friends of Safety have implemented a new aggressive curfew for all of the high schoolers, which is a huge bummer because they're planning a massive party tonight. Our character is just an average high schooler that wants to attend the party to impress a girl. And the night of the party, demons are unleashed onto the town and kidnap your love interest. In the middle of all of this chaos, a mysterious man appears and tells you that the Friends of Safety have unleashed 4 great demons that are key to opening Pandora's box on the world. So now it's up to our everyday character to fight 4 great demons, prevent Pandora's box from being opened, and of course rescue your love interest. There are tons of side quests in this that are related to rescuing your classmates as well, which I really enjoyed because it's an optional thing to do, but I would definitely recommend it. Some of the characters have genuinely interesting quest lines for you to do, and some of your classmates, when they return to the tavern, will provide you with permanent upgrades for the rest of the game. One example is you can always return to the tavern after you rescue a particular person with first aid skills. They'll always restore your health for free. Other characters might give you more information about the game, about the world around you. Other characters might provide you with items that can be used to rescue other classmates. I really liked this, especially since most of it's optional. And the story and the locations related to finding and defeating these 4 great demons are fantastic. Particular one that I'll shout out, relatively spoiler-free, is an area with a shopping mall. This is my favorite part of the game. It ends up not only being this crazy packed zombie environment, but there's a really good murder mystery for it. This was like the peak of the game for me. On the gameplay side, it's an isometric action RPG, so you've got a top-down view of your character, a 2D environment, and mobs of enemies all around you to defeat. You have a choice at the beginning of the game if you want to go with a melee or a magic focus. The developers recommended melee for your first run, and I personally would probably recommend that as well because the combat in this game is very challenging and the magic system is pretty complex. You're not just button mashing to cast spells, you have actual combos that you need to remember to switch between your spells, and if you can't remember them, you have to stop the game to open up a spell book. So if you're up for the challenge, I'd say go for it. Otherwise, I'd probably lean on the developer side and just go with a melee run. But no matter what you choose, there's multiple levels to the focus, which I really like. I can't speak to the magic side, but at least on the melee side, once you choose that, you also have 3 branching paths in terms of classes that you would take. And the skill tree is really nice because it expands out further from that. There's additional specializations later in the game. So I chose the knight focus in the beginning because I wanted a parry ability that I really liked. But you can also choose a warrior and a rogue. And as you level up, I ended up specializing again into a paladin. So I was able to infuse my weapons with magic, and there was a little bit of a stun. So it really branches out in a nice way. Over time, I did feel like progression in that skill tree was a bit slow. Every other level is an attribute point, and then the other level is either a passive or an active skill related to your specialized class. In theory, it's a good system, but over my 15 hours with the game, it started to feel like I wish I had abilities a little bit quicker. But I will say, even if I technically went to the easier route with the melee focus, I thought combat was perfectly challenging. And the enemy variety is really nice. You'll have your standard demon or a zombie, but it'll always up the ante. So you'll have these enemies that can maybe go invisible. You can have enemies that will be using magic. And the boss fights are really nice too. There's really good variety there, but you're constantly, over the course of this game, they'll introduce you to new enemies that'll make you think just a little bit differently in how you approach combat. The whole game is very open-ended in terms of how you want to tackle the story, which is really cool. So you're technically free to go any part of the map and take on whatever demon you want to choose. There's definitely a caveat with that where the levels are appropriate for each demon. So you'll know if you're in a place that you're not supposed to be. And I would definitely encourage you to backtrack if you start to feel like the enemies are a little over leveled for you, because I kind of did that early in levels 1 through 5. I made the game a little bit more difficult on myself than was needed. There's plenty of areas that you can explore that are appropriate to your level, and I wouldn't really encourage you to fight anything that's more than 5 levels over, because it would start to be not fun. I think that helps with quest progression too. Otherwise you might feel a little bit lost like I did early in the game, where I was stumbling upon things that I kind of felt like I wasn't probably supposed to be there. And if you're feeling that way, you're probably not supposed to be there. So I would just say backtrack, look for enemies that are more appropriately your level until you can beef yourself up and explore more. Now this is an RPG, so in addition to your skill tree, there's also tons and tons of gear. A little bit too much gear, but it's fine. You have lots of choices in your armor, in your accessories, in your weapons. I will say that inventory management is kind of messy. When you open up your inventory, everything is sorted really nicely, but when you go into your notebook, which shows your stats and your equipped things, when you want to swap stuff from there, it's not organized at all. It's really more organized by like your most recent thing rather than the quality of the gear, which was kind of annoying. And at least from what I could tell, there's not a way for you to sort things yourself. It's just if you go into your inventory, it's sorted by rarity. If you go into your notebook, it's sorted by recent. And there's, at least from what I could tell, there was not a way to swap that. I also occasionally ran into a bug that was very annoying where I wasn't able to actually swap equipment. Anytime I'd select something, it would open up a menu that was just blank. And I wasn't able to equip different things until I restarted the game, which kind of sucked. But restarting the game fixed it. And I only had one other minor bug that was related to a side quest for whatever reason. I activated something that I needed to activate for the quest and it didn't resolve. So that's just going to stay unresolved for me. One other thing that I do want to call out, while I do love the writing in this game, it is very intentionally trying to capture an 80s vibe. So maybe a little bit of a trigger warning. It happened very rarely. I can count maybe 2 or 3 times. You might see some words that we really wouldn't use today, that wouldn't be appropriate today, but they're really trying to capture that 1980s vibe. So I feel like that's worth mentioning. And while this is technically my review so far because I've not been able to roll credits on the game, but I have put 15 hours into this. So I feel very comfortable recommending this to anybody that's an action RPG fan, to anyone that likes retro games or that horror vibe. And again, anyone looking for anything related to Stranger Things in between the releases of episodes, this game is fantastic. The story is very good. It's very compelling. I love the mysteries to it. Combat is super fun and challenging. I just really liked being in this world. I cannot wait to roll credits on this. That's my review for Kingdom of Night. Thank you so much for watching the Dan Good Show. This title releases on December 2nd, coming in at $20 USD. The PC only release for now with a console date to be announced later. This is a very controller friendly game, so I feel like that's a knockout to release on console. And thank you so much to Dungan Entertainment for the review code. And thank you all for just this year. Being able to review games this year has been an absolute dream. I always wanted to do this. Never thought I'd be able to do it. So if you're watching this video, thank you so much for watching. You have made my year being able to do this. This is probably my last game review for 2025. I am very hopeful for more reviews in 2026. And if you're watching this on the day it releases, I've got one more games to watch for you for December. So make sure you like this video, send it to a friend, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Have a happy new year, happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.